Welcome everyone who is watching Pitt and Ball State with the Cardinals picking up a big overtime win. Early on, it's unranked South Florida beating number 8 NC State with the Hall of Famer Debbie Antonelli on Ben Shulman. There's a turnover for the Pack. Out of the mid-quarter timeout, it's been all Bulls.
South Florida has a team that can come in here and be a top 10 program. They've got great guard play. They've got rebounding inside, led by their 6'4" center, Dulce Fancom Mengiadu. Jose Fernandez, the head coach, has played a challenging non-conference schedule, and this three-headed monster, if you will, has the ability to win on the road. They are all very good in their roles. You mentioned that tough schedule, like it says down there, 4th straight game versus a top 25 opponent. Johansson with her first shot of the game. There's Emma Johansson for 3. First-year player out of Sweden. 10-0 run for the Bulls. NC State's going to have to bring a lot more energy on the defensive end because South Florida is running through their stuff. They are changing the pace of the game offensively with their acceleration through their action, and NC State's got to stay with them. Diamond Johnson penetrating, contested lay-in, good. Rutgers transfer makes a tough layup to end that 10-0 run. Diamond Johnson has changed her game a little bit this year. She leads the team in scoring. She played off the bench behind Reina Perez last year. But she answers what I call the 3 W's, Ben. Who to get the ball to, when, and where. She has a great understanding of NC State's personnel. Leading assister on the Pack with 4 assists a game. Brito, the freshman, into the key, blocked away. Huge swat by Isaiah James. NC State can take the final shot of the quarter. Johnson driving left, kick, 3 from Collins, no good. Rebound goes to Brito, and that's the end of the first quarter. Early advantage for the Bulls. They are looking for their 2nd ranked win in as many games here in Raleigh. ESPN, when we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight against cancer by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. Here at Valvano Arena at Reynolds Coliseum on K-Yao Court. NC State trying to fight back after the Diamond Johnson make. It's a 1-possession game. K-Yao and Jim Valvano were great friends. They both have separate 501c3s. The K-Yao Cancer Fund has helped contribute to saving lives, and this is a call for action for the Jimmy V. V.org, if you have a chance to donate money, please do so. 100% of your donation will go to fund research, and it's really important to help save the lives of people that are battling this horrible disease. Absolutely. NC State taking over. There was a 10-0 run from South Florida late in the first quarter, but the Pack now have scored the last 4. Sanaya Rivers won the national title with South Carolina last year. Inside Hobby, double teamed, pass to the corner deflected. Puisis knocked it out of bounds, so it sticks with NC State. Very patient inside by Camille Hobby, recognizes where the double came from and didn't panic. Isaiah James looking for her first points. Pass to Hobby, deflected and intercepted. Daniela Gonzalez, the first year, making an impact. Puisis inside Fanka Mengiadu. Under the hoop, she's blocked by Hobby. Well, Diamond Johnson's doing a good job of getting to the glass and helping on the boards. Johnson pull-up flush. Because she can do that. No outlet, sprint up the floor, run the floor hard and wide, and pull up and stick a 15-footer. She's got a game-high 9. Marina Asensio into the game. Spanish point guard. Sanaya Rivers putting a little bit more size and length on that Sammy Puisis matchup. She caused a big problem for Georgia's Alicia Lewis last game. A couple of massive blocks. Need to put it up. Puisis with 5 on the shot clock. Misses the runner. Good job of making Sammy Puisis put it on the floor. She is a hard person to defend because she moves so well without the ball.
Sanaya Rivers, 2021 USA Today and Gatorade National High School Player of the Year. Here's Johnson with the floater. Good. She's at double digits, and we're just entering the second quarter. 8-0 run for the Pack, led by Diamond Johnson. By Food Lion, NC State leading South Florida by 2, and all 6 points in this second quarter have come from Wolfpack point guard Diamond Johnson.
Because they've defended and they've kept South Florida for taking the ball out of the net. So they've been able to get in transition, and they are excellent when they run the floor, and you tilt the floor that way, especially led by Diamond on the top.
Johnson with a game high 11 points, 5 for 8 from the floor. USF brings in some scoring with Priscilla Williams coming into the game, but Ariel Wilson, the point guard, hands it off to Chineke. Fanka Mengiadu recovers. Doesn't usually do this much dribbling. She's into the key and misses.
I like the isolation of her trying to go one-on-one. James needs to make a good decision here with the ball.
Sanaya Rivers for 3. Off the mark, wide to the right. 3-on-2 for the Bulls. They slow it down. Williams, the Syracuse transfer, pulls up and misses. Offensive board, Chineke. Bulls slow it down. They have dominated the offensive glass so far. 6 offensive boards to 0 for NC State. And Chineke headed to the line.
See, with Sammy Puisis on the bench, Sanaya Rivers moves over to guard the next best scorer for South Florida, and that's Elena Chineke. And she is very crafty off the bounce. There's a good look at Puisis, their best three-point shooter. I think one of the best in the entire country moving without the ball. She puts pressure on your defense in other ways because she moves so well.
Chineke at the line, an 81% free throw shooter. Off the mark. She was the preseason AAC Conference Player of the Year and has really just been a dominant player her whole career. Now a senior with the Bulls, but has averaged double digits in every season she's played at South Florida.
I mean, she can score right foot, wrong foot. She is so good around the rim.
4 points today. Inside to Camille Hobby. Has a couple buckets herself. Double teamed on the baseline. Wilson came in, held ball, and that is sticking with State. However, they flipped the possession arrow.
So NC State knows that South Florida is bringing a double to the block. The last time Camille Hobby caught it on the block, they brought the double team. She made a patient play out of it. You got to move quicker on the perimeter to give her an outlet.
Bounce pass to Isaiah James, plus the foul. Nice inbounds play from Wes Moore and the Pack, who have opened up one of their largest leads so far.
This is a tremendous cut to the basket. South Florida didn't look like they were organized defensively, and James makes them pay with an and-one chance.
First foul for the South Florida point guard, Ariel Wilson. And Isaiah James completes the three-point play. Wilson carrying it up. Memphis transfer from Toronto, Ontario. Dundas specifically.
Sanaya Rivers sticking right to Sammy Puisis' hip. You got to chase her over the top of every screening action, and they run a lot of combinations for her.
Wilson turns it over. No, they say over and back. Now, Fanka Mengiadu making the tip signal. I thought for sure that ball was tipped by someone from NC State, but they say no. Fourth turnover so far on the Bulls.
Look at Priscilla Williams at 6'2", guarding little Diamond Johnson. What do you do when you get a big on you? Try to take him to the basket. She travels there.
Priscilla Williams, a really interesting player for this USF team. Had a good freshman year at Syracuse 2 seasons ago. Sat out last year with an injury, and now is playing her 6th game of the season for South Florida. Williams to Puisis. And that pass is intercepted by Madison Hayes. 2-on-1. Hayes gets bumped and misses the layup. No foul call.
If you're not going to advance past the ball on a 2-on-1, you better score it.
Had Diamond Johnson, the game's leading scorer, on the other side. But another strip here and a foul by Williams as the ball is on the floor.
So Isaiah James is giving Westmore some quality minutes. She's getting a chance, and she's been productive. She did turn it over the first time she touched it, but she's gotten a couple of deflections, scores on an out-of-bounds play, and makes her free throw.
Played only 4 minutes against Georgia last game, has already surpassed that in this contest.
Well, you've got to earn it in practice. You have to earn your playing time in practice, and we're not in practice every day.
Isaiah James last year was all ACC freshman team, sophomore out of Virginia Beach. Over to James with half the shot clock gone. Johnson pulls up and hits over Williams.
I mean, I think she looked Priscilla Williams in the eye before she stuck it.
That's 5'5" against 6'2" to get it to the largest lead so far today for NC State.
Well, you have to give her a little cushion because she can blow right by you.
Williams drive in. Baseline floater, no good. Offensive board. Second chance, no good again. No field goals yet in the quarter for South Florida. James speeding down the floor. Missed the layup with the left hand. Out of bounds, USF ball.
Again, James did everything right. She runs up the backside of a defender in transition, and Diamond just squares it up and says, bucket.
With that three, Diamond Johnson has hit multiple triples in every game so far this season, even the game against Georgia when she went 2 for 11.
I think people forget that her freshman year at Rutgers, she was a 50, 40, 90 player in a starting role with a big responsibility as a freshman. She is skilled offensively.
Wilson around the screen. And Chineke missed it way too strong. Benka Mengiadu swatted, 10 to shoot. Brito, open three. Missed that one too. 3 chances for USF, but they could not put it in. Diamond Johnson stripped. And there, Madison Hayes looked like she was blocked. River Baldwin with the left hand. Her 3rd chance is good, but Diamond Johnson is down on the floor. Immediately, the arena goes silent as North Carolina State's leader is clutching her right leg. And that right ankle did not go the way it was supposed to.
So they're already without the services of Jada Boyd with an ankle issue, who has missed the last 2 games. Diamond trying to work it through.
Just a tough sight for everyone here in Raleigh as they help Diamond Johnson off the floor.
Okay, so now Westmore has gone right now from 10 players to 8 players.
He had talked about depth being an advantage today.
If Diamond is not available, as soon as we can get a report, we'll find out as they take her back over to the makeshift training table, or trainer's area, not training table. Some people think a training table is nutrition. Used to be that way.
So with Johnson at least not in the game now, who's taking over main ball handling when NC State gets the ball?
Sanaya Rivers is capable of running the point, and there is a package that NC State has with her on the top of the floor.
Well, an early turnover forced by NC State out of the break. That's the 7th turnover already on USF. NC State dominating this quarter, up 14-1.
There's Rivers. 6-1 at the point.
Ran some point against Georgia in the last game. Jakia Brown-Turner probably takes on some of the scoring load more as well. Rivers fires a pass inside, but a blocking foul on the pass on Ariel Wilson. Second on Wilson, and it'll just be baseline inbounds here for NC State.
Yeah, Mimi Collins has the one-on-one there. She's got to score that against a smaller player in that matchup with Brito.
4 points now. Pass ahead and a foul. Rivers knocked over Puisis.
See, that's where Sanaya Rivers has got to know if she can get that tip or deflection. But you certainly don't want to pick up that cheap foul.
First on Rivers. Just the third on the pack here, almost 7 minutes into the quarter. Still no field goals in this quarter for USF. That will break the deadlock as Fancom Mengiadu spins away from Baldwin for her 8th points of the game.
Now, there's not a flopping rule in the women's game. It is a point of emphasis, but there's no penalty for it, and you see the officials just play on.
Isaiah James pulls up. Lefty jumper rattles out. But an offensive board for Collins, saved right to Chineke. 3-on-2, Puisis is open in the corner. Chineke takes it herself and is stripped by Jakia Brown-Turner. Brown-Turner spinning the other way, missed her layup.
Well, you had Mimi Collins on a post-up.
Brito attacking. She scores with the right, 4 straight points for South Florida.
That's the thing that South Florida does so well. They keep pressure on you with their transition game. You've got to match up quickly and build a wall.
They love to run at you, even from cold starts sometimes, from made buckets, from out-of-bounds plays. There's a block by Fancom Mengiadu, her 14th of the year, swatting away Sanaya Rivers.
There's a lot of players in the ACC that like to make plays with one hand, and when you do that, you might get some style points, but you really don't have control. And there's a great play by
Rivers the other way.
To be able to come the other way and make up for the mistake she made on the other end. That's what you call moving on to the next play.
6 points now for Mimi Collins off the Rivers pass. Jessica Timmons waiting to check in for the pack. Inside, Fancom Mengiadu looking for double digits. Offensive board, 2 misses. Jakia Brown-Turner wide open, but couldn't finish the layup there. Nice move to get to the rim. Second chance for the pack with a minute left to go in the half.
And this is where NC State really needs to run through their stuff offensively. Here comes the double.
And Wilson stripped. It's going to be a foul on Baldwin. It's USF basketball. Wilson was clipped in the face by Baldwin after she knocked the ball loose. A lot of really good defensive play, though, for NC State, despite that recent foul.
So quick hands, the length of Sanaya Rivers, and the nice delivery because Mimi Collins runs for a layup.
USF trying to salvage this quarter. Puisis, did she just lose the ball? They're saying that Rivers tipped it, but Rivers is pleading that she did not touch that basketball, and then it just fell out of Puisis's hands.
Yeah, the officials are going to come together here and discuss it.
And it's going the other way. They say Puisis lost it clean. No argument from the USF players. Oh, she definitely did. Chineke sticking with Jakia Brown-Turner. They call a foul there as the hands got in on the hips and back of Turner.
Team foul number
ACC PM with Mark Packer, Trey Boston, and Taylor Tannenbaum. They'll talk football, but we'll also have the latest from around the conference weekdays at 4 Eastern right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. So after the foul, Jose Fernandez charged with a technical foul, giving Jakia Brown-Turner a chance at the line. Brown-Turner, 76% free throw shooter this year. Now has 3 points in the game. Look in the top left corner, and there you can see the technical foul.
Yeah, Coach Fernandez did not like something and had a few words with our official, Jeffrey Smith.
Smith joined today by Joseph Vasily and Teresa Stuck. NC State going to hold for the pseudo final shot with maybe a chance to put it back on an offensive rebound. Sanaya Rivers taking over the point guard role after Diamond Johnson left the game. Rivers penetrating past Fanco Mengiatu. She lays it in. Running clock, 5 seconds to go. Wilson ahead to Puisis. Open look. And she stuck it. Right at the buzzer, USF with a little bit of a boost, but they trail by 9 off a massive NC State second frame.
That's why Sammy Puisis is on the top of the scouting report. Let's see what the status of Diamond Johnson will be for NC State. Otherwise, this is a mistake by the Wolfpack, giving her a free look to the bucket.
Maybe something to get Puisis going. Her first three-pointer made up some of the halftime stats. And one thing that really stuck out to you was the inefficient shooting of South Florida in the first half and how that trend is unlikely to continue.
Well, this is a team that shoots 45% from the floor. They shot 29 in the first half. I don't expect them to shoot 29% in the second. So you better make sure that you follow the scout if you're NC State defensively. And I think you got to move the ball better if you're South Florida.
Air ball for Chineke, but an offensive board. Leading scorer for South Florida with 8 in the first half. Fanco Mengiatu is fouled.
The first half on Sammy Puisis. When Mengiatu is a one-on-one difficult matchup for the front line of NC State, and you can see that Jose Fernandez is trying to feature her early.
Not sure they want her dribbling that far away from the net, though. Nearly turned it over. Here's Brito with the left. That's good. Strong game for Carla Brito. 7 points for the first year out of Las Palmas, Spain.
So here's the versatility of what Sanaya Rivers can do at the point at 6'1".
Rivers at the point with Johnson out. She turns around and misses the jumper. She is still looking to score a little bit more. Only had 2 points in the first half. Chineke is spinning, and that one is swatted away. They say it's last touch off of USF that she just lost it out of bounds. NC State takes over. Elena Chineke averaging nearly 17 points per game, but only has 4 so far in this one. Jakia Brown-Turner. Back to Madison Hayes.
Camille Hobby working to try to get in position. There she goes.
On a pass wide open, she's going to the line.
You know, Camille Hobby is a player that we should celebrate. She's getting ready to graduate on Friday with her undergraduate degree. But in her freshman year, she didn't play a lot of minutes, yet she'd be the first person out to practice on game day to get warmed up. Now she's a senior. She stayed. She played behind one of the all-time greats in Elisa Cunane in NC State history, and she's getting rewarded this year with all of her hard work. because she's getting major playing time because she stuck through some of the adversity of not getting a chance to play 25 minutes a game.
And she was a big prospect coming out of high school, 2019 Florida Miss Basketball, and was willing to put in the time on the bench.
No, she's good. And it's because she worked on her game, she kept the faith, and she believed that she could be a player at this level, and she certainly has proven that this year.
Already has scored in double figures 5 times this year, matching her total from all of last year. Reverse layup from Fancom Mengianu, no good.
I mean, Jose Fernandez should keep featuring that matchup because I think Dulcie has just got to make those plays. She's getting good shots. And Jakia Brown-Turner quickly on Sammy Puisis up the floor.
Chineke with the left. Second field goal for her.
Sanaya Rivers, Ben, is the younger sister of a great player here at NC State, Nana Rivers.
Sanaya from North Carolina, originally went to South Carolina, but transferred after last year. Miss from Jakia Brown-Turner, and an over-the-back foul. We're getting Madison Hayes on that one, I believe. For Rivers, the thought is that she's breaking in this year, but in the next couple years, she could be the feature player here for NC State. Chineke around her, righty layup is good. Elena Chineke is starting to heat up.
Chineke is so good at rejecting that screen and takes a straight line drive to the basket.
She's really crafty in and around the key. Hobby pulls up. No good. Some momentum here for South Florida. Down 9 to start the half, have cut that to 5.
This is where Jose Fernandez is excellent. He's a terrific play caller when his offense is in front of his bench.
Puisis misses, nice rebound.
And he is dialing up offense to get great shots. They have not made them. And NC State's got to keep digging in and keep chasing Sammy Puisis. Stay on her hip.
Puisis only 5 points today. Leading scorer averages 17 points per game for this South Florida team. Still no Diamond Johnson. Rolled her ankle in the first half. She's the leading scorer for North Carolina State.
You got to throw it in there. There's a mismatch.
Mimi Collins uses it to get to the line. Drew some contact from Carla Burrito. The first year being helped up by her teammates.
One of the things that NC State has with Mimi Collins is tremendous toughness. She's the kind of player that you hate to go against, but you love playing with because you know exactly what she's going to do. She's going to fight for position in the paint. She's going to fight on the glass. She also has the capability of making a 3 once in a while.
Saturday on ACC Network and the ESPN app, our college basketball doubleheader starts at 1 Eastern with Pitt hosting North Florida. Then Cornell takes the 50-mile drive up Route 11 to square off against Syracuse. The Orange have won the last 41 against the Big Red, dating back to 1969. Fancom Mengianu with the left, no good.
And see, right now, NC State doesn't need to bring help to that matchup. Hobby's been handling Dulcie inside on a one-on-one.
Hobby from range, missed the long 2.
And that allows NC State to stay on shooters on the perimeter.
Wilson penetrating to Puisis. And now Chineke. Rivers is drawing her. She blocks her away. A defensive menace, Sanaya Rivers with her second block of the game.
Well, it's just better defense right here by Sanaya. She got beat the last time. This time she says, no way you're going to beat me to the basket.
Already 6 blocks today for NC State. They average fewer than 5 a game. Fancom Mengianu versus Hobby. Turnaround no good. Just like you said, Hobby standing tall.
Mengianu 4 for 11 on the inside.
Shania Rivers inside. Kick out, Mimi Collins three. No good. USF had a lot of success against Texas when they got out and ran off rebounds. A little bit slower here, working in the half court.
I think NC State's doing a really good job of getting back in transition.
Creases for three. No good.
See, the length of Rivers is always lurking in that matchup with Creases, even though she goes over top of that action.
Creases a 38% three-point shooter, 1 for 3 today. Rivers over Creases. Yes!
Yeah, Shania Rivers definitely playing with some confidence. She told me today in shoot-around that she wanted to guard Sammy Creases.
She has equaled her in points. They both have 5, and Rivers the main point guard right now. Reverse layup high off glass, no good by Chineke. Rivers around Chineke. Kicks to the corner. Open three, Brown-Turner. No good. Fight for the rebound. Chineke comes up with it. Wilson penetrates and kicks. Britos hit 2 threes today. Passes that one up for a nice lay-in.
What a decision by Brito. She has been solid. She's an undersized 4 at 5'11", and she's only 17 years old.
Leading the Bulls right now with 9 points, but she has played a couple years pro in the Spanish Canary Islands in the top Spanish Women's League. Brown-Turner, contested three is good. Largest lead of the second half for NC State. They're up 10. Chineke baseline, she responds. It's been a big third quarter for Chineke. Now in double digits. Rivers around the screen, pull-up is blocked, and it's taken away 2-on-1. Ariel Wilson speeding down the lane, layup rolls in. First points of the day for the Memphis transfer.
Yeah, NC State is stuck with the ball on top of the floor, and this is where you miss Diamond Johnson. You know, Shania Rivers can play the point, but she's not the natural point guard.
No update on Johnson yet, and I don't see her at least on the bench. A nice contested lay-in from Brown-Turner.
Well, that's what Jakia Brown-Turner needs to do. Hits the three, then takes her defender inside with that big frame. She's going to really need to come alive here to be able to separate.
Brown-Turner averaging 11 points per game this year. Second leading scorer on NC State behind Johnson. There's Chineke. She's got a dozen.
That's 3 consecutive layups right through the NC State defense.
Chineke up to 12, now 5 of 13 from the floor. At one point, 1 for 7, so she's made 4 of the last 6. Timmons, Baldwin, and James waiting to check in for the Wolfpack. Gonzalez waiting to check in for USF. Slight advantage this quarter for the Bulls. Only 4 to shoot. Hayes pulls up baseline, it rattles out. Hobby offensive board, she'll head to the line.
What a big rebound.
Only the 3rd offensive rebound of the game for NC State, but it doesn't matter. They're up by 6, looking for a big non-con win. For minutes in the game, and yet 150% of the output of an NBA player. And maybe all the more impressive then that NC State has limited her to 5 points.
Well, she's 2 for 7 from the floor, and she was definitely on the top of the scouting report. She leads them in scoring with Chineke, and you have to find Sammy Creases because she can get hot in a hurry.
Hit 5 threes in the Texas one.
The defensive game plan on her does not change until the horn sounds at the end. She's that good and that capable. And I love the way she's rebuilt her game since her time at Florida State. She's changed her body a little bit. She's more conditioned. She's durable. Sammy Creases has definitely made herself a really good college basketball player.
Her former Florida State teammate River Baldwin just checked in. Here's a steal for Jessica Timmons. Trying to step over her defender and scores!
Without Jada Boyd and without Diamond Johnson, it's a chance for James and Timmons to get extended minutes. Timmons doing a good job right here defensively, quick hands, and then finishing with contact.
Drew the foul against the Finnish first-year Jeanette Arnio. Three-point play completed. And now the largest lead of the half for NC State, 11 points.
You cannot have enough guards in college basketball. Timmons and James have a chance to really help elevate NC State through conference play.
Timmons, a sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Chineke leading the Bulls in scoring, down to Fanka Mengiadu. One more pass just behind a cutting Daniela Gonzalez.
Well, Dulcie Fanka Mengiadu has had a tough day, and Jose Fernandez has gotten her the ball where she has been effective, and she's capable. She shoots 61% from the floor. It's 9th in the nation. Oh, excuse me, her rebounding is 9th in the nation.
Today only shooting 33 from the floor. Baldwin inside missed. And another rebound for Fanka Mengiadu, who does have 14 on the day. Chineke fouled as she was going to the rim. They're going to say it's a foul on the floor.
See, this is Chineke's game. Rebound, and unless you see two shoulders, two hips in front of you, you take it all the way to the basket. She has been much more aggressive in the second half. NC State's got to be careful here and look for Chineke to get it back.
Into Wilson, Chineke under the bucket. Instead, they go to Priestess. Now they run a screen to get into Chineke for three. Good! Hey, I think you're in the Hall of Fame for a reason.
You get lucky once in a while if you watch enough film.
15 points for Elena Chineke.
And NC State has not been able to separate. I mean, I don't want to see them wait too late here to get into this action.
They did have the lead up at 11 at one point, but USF continuing to get it back to single digits. Rivers holding. Now Collins has to hoist it up. Contested three. No good.
T-Ben, they waited too long, and it took too long to get in the action, especially when you don't have your natural point guard on the top of the floor. And Wes Moore is as good as anyone in preparing for situations.
Quite the situation coming up a fourth quarter without Diamond Johnson, we think. We'll see if NC State can hold on. Right now, thanks to 11 third-quarter points from Elena Chineke.
She's been a hard driver. She is looking to get to the paint. She has been very good off the bounce, and then this out-of-bounds play, you can't come with a short closeout. You've got to get a hand up. She reads the second level so good, and she's also very good at rejecting the screen, so you have to play her honest.
South Florida won that third quarter by 1 point, and there's an early turnover.
That back door was not available. Oh, I'm surprised she didn't shoot that. But she's going to shoot this one.
And she gets the bounce. Shooter's roll is eventually going to come. 7 points now for Sammy Priestess.
So, what were you talking about in the break, Ben? 47% from South Florida from the floor in the third quarter.
Big improvement.
They're starting to heat up.
Shot under 30% in the first half. Jessica Timmons to River Baldwin, who's fouled on the entry pass. That's the third on Dulcie Fanka Mengiadu. She had to play the final 8 minutes of their last game with 4 fouls on her, and it clearly affected her defense inside.
Well, I don't think Jose Fernandez wants to take her out because you got to trust her. You know, she's a senior. She knows what she's supposed to do, and you don't change your aggressiveness. You just don't try to block shots or rotate and draw a charge. You just play solid.
Inside to Baldwin, Dulcie guarding her, a couple of bumps, but no foul, and Baldwin lays it in.
That's a really good post move inside by the 6'5" transfer, River Baldwin.
We mentioned Priestess changing her game a little bit from Florida State. You had talked about before the game, too, that Baldwin has changed her game and her body a little bit from Florida State. She's guarding the ball. Fanka Mengiadu has it poked away, saves it back. Somehow still South Florida. They got to hoist it. It's poked away. There's a steal for Isaiah James. She lost the ball. And it's going back to South Florida. Ariel Wilson, 4-on-3 for the Bulls the other way. Fanka Mengiadu spins, lays it up, no good. Second chance, she's fouled and headed to the line.
You know, I have referenced Fanka Mengiadu as what I would call the Oscar Tshiebwe of the women's game. She's got 15 rebounds to start the fourth quarter. And once again, we do have an emphasis for flopping, but we don't have a penalty for it, and the officials play on.
Interesting, they call that a foul on the floor. Quick pass in, Chineke might have been tipped, but the ball didn't get there anyway. Fans letting her know as Timmons takes it overhand. Screen knocks over Wilson. Baldwin gets it on the roll, contest, and nice defense without fouling by Fanka Mengiadu.
Build a wall inside and make a player score over you.
Daniela Gonzalez from three, short. Physical rebound for Sammy Puisis. Fanka Mengiadu with the right through contact. No foul, no bucket, and a foul on the rebound. I think they're going to get Chineke there.
There's the comparison I'm talking about. Look how close the numbers are. And I wish I could come up with a female player that I think in the game right now rebounds like that, with that fire and that passion on the glass.
Is Boston a comparison at all?
She's not as long and she's not as thick below as Mengiadu is, but she certainly is a tremendous. I'm not saying she's not a rebounder. I'm just talking about Boston has other responsibilities. Mengiadu is supposed to rebound, and she does it like Tshiebwe. She rebounds every time. She goes to the glass every time.
She's stealing possessions with her rebounding ability.
Yeah, I'm going back to like Katrina McClain kind of rebounding. Some people might say Rebecca Brunson in the WNBA rebounding.
Jakia Brown-Turner fouled there by Chineke. The offensive rebounding battle has gone way in the favor of South Florida, despite the fact they're trailing 14 offensive boards to only 3 for the Pack. And it's not just Fanka Mengiadu. She has 5 offensive boards, but there are others that are contributing as well. Jakia Brown-Turner, nice step through, and she'll get the bounce. Double figures for Jakia Brown-Turner.
What Jose Fernandez wants to do here is you can't trade baskets, and you want to be able to put some game pressure on NC State to have them have to make shots under duress. And I'm not talking about just defensive duress. I mean game on the line.
Puisis misses the 3 there. Hard for USF to get going with Puisis not in rhythm. Now 1 for 4 from range.
And there's Diamond Johnson, who will not be available for the remainder of the game. Turned her ankle in the second quarter after she led NC State with 14 points. She was on her way to a big game. 6 for 10 from the floor and made great decisions with the ball.
Turnaround for Collins, no good. Good to see Johnson on the bench, smiling at least. They had to help her off the floor.
Not good for NC State to see Jada Boyd and Diamond Johnson sitting over there next to each other.
Puisis pulls up and hits. Now 9 points for Sammy Puisis.
You know, if NC State can hang on here and win this game, I know Wes Moore is going to give a lot of credit to his bench for the way they've performed if they can pull it out.
It would be 2 big shorthanded wins in a row. Be the talented Georgia team a couple days ago. Steal for Puisis. She's fouled in transition.
Now, this is a South Florida team with great maturity, good understanding of time and score. Played a challenging non-conference schedule to prepare themselves for this situation. And certainly Wes Moore has played a really hard non-conference schedule as well.
If you're USF, you're in a pretty good spot right now. Only down 8 as the underdog here against a top 10 team on the road.
Yeah, but I think South Florida is a ranked team, so I look at them and have expectation for them to be in this position.
Did receive votes this past week. Chineke only has taken 1 shot this quarter, pulls up, and misses there. She had 11 third-quarter points. into Baldwin, fumbled the pass, although she had position to lay it in. 9th turnover of the day for NC State, who still leads that turnover battle. 13 giveaways the other way for South Florida. And Baldwin going to come out. Camille Hobby back in. Wilson dribbling over half. South Florida wants to talk about it with 5:34 to go. Hanging in the game, but Jose Fernandez's team needs to make a push if South Florida is going to try and pick up.
Notre Dame coming up soon. Of course, coming up right after us, get to see Katie Meyer and Miami Hurricanes. Destiny Harden.
That should be a lot of fun in the Sunshine State here. A turnover forced by Madison Hayes, sprinting to the hoop, takes some contact from Puisis. She will head to the line.
And that is a flat lateral pass that allows Hayes to get up the line and make the play. Watch this steal right here. Puisis just makes a hard foul to make her earn it at the free throw line.
We've seen some amazing fans across the ACC, and now we need your help this winter. ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. So snap a pic or take a video, tag it with the hashtag #AllTheDevotion, and post it to your social. You might just see it on ACC Network.
We get to do that too? All the devotion?
Yeah,
all right.
Maybe a post-game selfie. Chineke with 15, leading the Bulls. Brito for 3. No good. Board up for grabs, but Collins claims it.
Sanaya Rivers has handled the point guard responsibilities pretty well here without Diamond Johnson.
No turnovers for Rivers, 3 assists. Skip pass to Hobby. Pulls up for a deep 2, hits it.
And Camille Hobby has a tremendous face-up game. He is really showing it off here in a matchup against a taller defender.
Now 10 points for Hobby. Her 6 double-digit games this season, the most she's ever had in a single season. Fanka Mengiadu fouled as Jakia Brown-Turner wanted a steal and a run out. NC State starting to pull away. They're looking for their 9. Only 4 minutes, 22 seconds remain. NC State looking for a big victory without 2 of its top players, Jada Boyd and Diamond Johnson, not in the game today. Yet the number 8 Wolfpack up by 12. That one, was it tipped? Yes, it was, says official Joseph Vasili, so it sticks with South Florida. Bulls have really struggled in this 4th quarter after a strong third. They are 2 for 10 from the floor. They've hit 1 of their last 9 field goals this quarter. Puisis pulls up. She can't hit. Another offensive board for the Bulls, though. They're dominating the glass.
Plus 11.
Chineke a little bit off the mark as well. She missed wide right. Here come the Pack. Are we late enough in the game where you might want to start stretching out possessions a little bit?
I don't think that's a good thing for NC State, as we've seen them try to use the clock, and I think they've lost some of their aggressiveness. This is not a time when you want to do that.
They're doubling Rivers. Only 5 to shoot. She goes to the corner. Now a pass in is tipped away. Hobby with the turnaround, blocked.
Every time they go late or delay into the shot clock, they don't get a good look.
What a pass by Ariel Wilson with one hand up to Carla Brito.
I think NC State needs to keep the pace right here, because you don't have a natural point guard on the top of the floor. So Wes Moore, who's typically the point guard over there on the sideline when his offense is in front of him, is doing double duty.
Offensive foul. Ariel Wilson, the starting point guard, on the other side with a massive defensive play.
Look at the pass up the floor by Wilson and the finish by Brito. Back-to-back mistakes by NC State here could give South Florida some momentum.
If they're going to make a push, they need to do it now. Wilson has not scored today, but has 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Puisis, looking for double digits, is fouled, going to the hoop.
And that's going to be 2 free throws for Sammy Puisis.
That'll match the total for the rest of the game. Only 2 free throws total today for South Florida.
Well, NC State has done a good job of keeping them off the free throw line, but Puisis is 26 for 26 on the season, so you don't expect her to miss.
Saturday on ACC Network and the ESPN app, our college basketball doubleheader starts at 1 Eastern with Pitt hosting North Florida. Then Cornell takes the 50-mile drive up Route 11 to square off against Syracuse. The Orange have won the last 41 against the Big Red, dating back to 1969. Puisis hits on both to stay perfect from the line this year. Jakia Brown-Turner for 3, and that might be a dagger.
That's a great set by Westmore. Drive baseline, you reject the screen, you re-screen, and the shooter comes around. I call that America's play because everybody runs it.
And for Jakia Brown-Turner, now 13 points off that well set up play by Moore. Second leading scorer to Diamond Johnson. Especially after not scoring in the Georgia game. She's come back big here this afternoon in Raleigh. Last touch on that rebound by NC State. Jakia Brown-Turner, a couple seasons ago, first team all ACC, and we're starting to see some of that again here in this game. I think when she revs up her engine and she plays both sides of the ball, I think she is a really tough check in the league. Puisis, quick trigger 3, no good. Time starting to run out here for the Bulls, down 11, under 2 minutes to go. And South Florida's not a team that can press and trap, and you don't want to open up the floor against NC State and allow their transition game. Now I run the same set, like run the same thing for Jakia Brown-Turner. It looks like they're definitely starting to kill some clock now as Brown-Turner has dribbled 25 seconds of the shot clock away. Her pull-up no good. Conversely, South Florida speeding down the floor. Chineke lays it in. She's up to a game-high 17. I think you have to have a feel for tempo and personnel, and now you see Chineke commit the foul, try to extend the game, and I'm going to say this because I say it all the time. I wish we had the 1-and-1 in the women's game. Rivers is a good player to send to the line 1-and-1 or 2 shots because she's a 50% free throw shooter this year, 7 for 14. That was the 4th foul, though, on Chineke. Big free throw to make it a 10-point game. Westmore moving his bigs out of the key. Wants everyone back so that USF can't run out in transition. Second one rolls out. Carla Brito with pace to Ariel Wilson. They want to find Puisis for 3. Here it is. It's good. That is a beautiful set. And the acceleration and the flare by Puisis sets it up perfectly. Jose. Sammy Puisis just hit her first 3 of the second half. And with South Florida down and limited time, they'll need a couple more 3s likely from Puisis if they're going to get back in the game. Well, she's certainly not, you're not changing what you do with the scouting report on her, but that was a great set by South Florida to get her an open look. Now the press, and it's beat by the inbounds pass. Rivers missed the lay-in, but sticks with it for the second chance. Well, the one thing you can't do is get beat over the top. That's why South Florida doesn't like to press. Puisis cutting in, lost the basketball. Going the other way, Hayes. Bounce to Jakia Brown-Turner. Layup no good. And USF going the other way. They have numbers 4 on 2. To the corner, Chineke. Bulls looking for a 3. Chineke penetrates. Pass tipped. Wilson has it. Puisis wants to hoist. Brito can do it too. She's blocked by Rivers. Shot clock turned off. Brito trying to foul there, but no call. And now they will get the foul. Jose Fernandez was trying to wave it off. You know, Jose is going to go back and look at the film and say, wow, we got shots. We didn't make them. Okay, and Westmore is going to go, wow, we survived at home against a great push by South Florida with 2 starters out with injury. It's the second game in a row they've been shorthanded against a capable opponent. And they have come up big once again. It's kind of a new era of NC State basketball with Alyssa Cunane and others no longer here. And it looks like the Wolfpack are set up for success going forward. Another 1 for 2 for Rivers, and Fernandez calls timeout.
Well, he wants to advance the ball, run a play.
Big win for the Wolfpack, and some more big games coming up for NC State. They start conference play with a couple of home games, and then they'll go on the road to Syracuse on the first. It's an improved Syracuse team over last year. Duke and Syracuse, some tests for them before they take on some of the titans of the ACC coming up in mid-January and February.
Well, I don't think there's any easy night in the league. You know, with a preseason with 5 teams in the top 15, and you see more teams in the top 10, it's a challenging league. With Notre Dame and North Carolina and NC State, Louisville bouncing back tonight, and they're going to be there at the end. When you take a look at the teams that are in the AP top 25, these teams are all in the top 8. I mean, this is how hard the league is this year. It's one of the best times I think the league has experienced. You got to go all the way back to like 06, 07, 05, those years, when I think there's been this much parity in the ACC.
South Florida trying to make it close here with 15 seconds to go. NC State with a great day from its bench. 19 bench points from 5 different players have helped them. Fanka Mengiadu gets into double figures, so she'll end this game with a double-double. 10 points, 17 rebounds. Rivers looking to dribble it out. And USF going to Sagoff. A big win for NC State. Without 2 starters for most of this game, they weathered the storm to beat a talented South Florida Bulls team.
This is when you take a deep breath and you go, wow, we survived it, because they did a great job defensively on Sammy Puisis all game long. Dolce had some troubles scoring around the rim. She went 5 for 15, although she did have 17 rebounds. You knew those were 2 things that you had to be able to survive. Puisis shooting,